Hey everybody, I'm Sean Powers, and today I want to cover 7 things you probably don't know about My Big Round World. And if you don't know what My Big Round World is, well, I'll give you that one for free. It's my webcomic. Now, you've probably heard of Garfield, right? Yeah, that one's not mine. That's Jim Davis. But I have a webcomic. It's called My Big Round World, and all the characters are squares, and I won't get too much into it, but you should check it out. It's on Twitter. I'll put a thing over here, and it's on Instagram, maybe over here, and it has its own website that I'll try to put down here in post editing. Anyway, check it out. It's a lot of fun, and here are some things you probably don't know about it. Thing number 1. Whenever Blue, the main character, speaks, his speech bubbles are in rectangular shape, like the speech bubbles are rectangles. Everybody else in the comic has like oval or elliptical things when they talk. I don't know why, I just decided that Blue would have his own shaped speech bubble, and I think I've been consistent throughout the whole series. You can check it out. Now I'm actually a little bit concerned that at first I didn't do that, and maybe the first couple weren't like that, but I think they were. I think it's been consistent the whole way. Blue's speech bubbles are always square, and everybody else's are elliptical, oval shaped. That's the word. Number 2, Spot. So Spot is a dog. He's a rescue dog, and a bunch of things about Spot. But the main thing is, if you see when I draw Spot, it's a circle that I kind of overdraw. And so there's like this little thing sticking out, and I draw the eyes over top of that. And then I make the rest of Spot as it goes. But as I was drawing that, I never really thought about what that line behind his eyes kind of sticking back was. I don't know, tuft of fur or something. I actually never really considered what it might be until I was making plushies and designing plushies. And it turns out that when you make something 3-dimensional, you need to know what all the parts are. And so they ended up being ears. The little line ended up being his ears. And if you look in a side view, you can kind of see where like the oval overdrawn thing is Spot's ears. So they didn't become his ears until I tried to make a plushie, but now it's canon. Now that's in the world of My Big Round World. That little line behind Spot's eyes, those are his ears pointed backwards. Number 3, Pink Rhombus is a lie. And he's also kind of a jerk, but Pink Rhombus is a lie. He's one of the characters. In fact, all the characters have the first name that is a color, and their last name is a shape for us, like a 4-sided thing. For example, Blue's last name is square. Yellow's last name is rectangle. Brown's last name is block. See, there's like a trend, right? All the characters are there. Pink, his last name is rhombus, but it's a lie because a rhombus is a shape that has all 4 sides the same length. And Pink is a lot taller than he is wide. So along with being kind of a jerk, Pink is also a lie. He is not a rhombus at all, but that's his last name. And, if I'm going to be honest, I kind of didn't remember my middle school geometry when I was naming him. And I thought, oh, rhombus is a funny word, and that's something to do with squares. So anyway, yeah, he's a lie, but I'm going to pretend it was on purpose because he's a jerk. Anyway, number 4, every Saturday, I do a single square comic, like a single pane of comic. It's always on the beach, and it's just that one pane. And it's usually Blue saying something highly philosophical. Not always, but sometimes. And yeah, it's always on the beach. It's always one frame. And I just thought, at first I thought, okay, Saturday weekend, let's chill. We'll take him to the beach. And then the next week went back to the beach. And now it's just kind of become a thing. So every week on Saturday, Blue is at the beach and he's saying something in just a single frame comic. It's never more than one frame. And that's because I wanted to give myself a break. I thought, okay, I want to do a comic every weekday, and I do, and I still want to do it on Saturday, but I'll just do that single beach frame. And then Sundays, I don't do a comic at all. So Sunday's the only day of the week I don't do it. But Saturday's kind of a light and easy day as well. Also, this is maybe a bonus. This wasn't one of my 7, but I'll just tell you that I actually don't build them up in advance. Like I don't draw a bunch of comics and then just like queue them for delivery. It's part of my daily routine. I actually get up in the morning and I make a cup of coffee. I really look forward to drawing every single morning. So when you see my comic, it's almost always fresh off the presses. And that's why sometimes they don't come out until like noon because something happened in the morning and I don't have something queued up. So anyway, that was number 4. Number 5, Blue is actually based off me, which is not a surprise if you know me and you read the comic. There's actually a little more to that. Like, I didn't know that I was ADHD, but looking back at the comics, that Blue says things that are pretty ADHD. So I'm like, wow, how come I didn't know all these years? Anyway, Blue is based off me, and Yellow Rectangle is based off of my wife, Donna, who is wonderful, as is the character in my comic. Everybody else, not based off anybody. Like, there is no person in my life who is Pink Rhombus who is just a real big jerk. Nope. Everybody else is just random, kind of an amalgamation. Amalgamation? I think that's the word. Of all the people in the whole wide world. So yeah, those two are based off somebody, but nobody else is. And Spot is not necessarily any particular animal or dog. He's just a little tiny potato-sized ball of awesomeness. Number 6. My Big Round World was started as a joke. So if you look back at the very first comic, it was just something that I drew on my tablet because I was a trainer for a long time. And so I would draw and make videos of Linux stuff, and I would use illustrations. I've been known for years as somebody who's a terrible, terrible artist. Like, our illustrator at the company I worked for would jokingly, ask me to illustrate something because I'm such a bad artist. So it was just a joke, but honestly, it was fun, and everybody liked the little character Blue that I made, and that on a whim. And so I made another one and another one, and that was like 220 comics ago. So anyway, it was a joke, but it was a joke that had a really great punchline, because now I do a comic 6 days a week. It's really, really awesome. And lastly, number 7. I currently draw. This is a question I get a lot. Sean, how do you draw the comic? And I've never been an artist who like draws things. So like, a lot of people, especially when they start webcomics, they will like just draw on paper and then either scan it, or they'll draw on paper and then somehow digitize it. I don't even know what normal drawer people do. I'm not a regular drawing person. So I use the Wacom tablet, or Wacom, whatever the drawing tablet is. I use that, and I've used a multitude of programs trying to come up with something that is simple to use. And I'll be honest, I've tried probably a dozen different drawing programs, and they're all either really, really too complicated or are awesome, but I can't figure out how to do speech bubbles in them. That's really the only advanced feature that I need is a speech bubble maker thing. And there are not too many programs that do that. So right now I'm using my Wacom tablet, and it has Windows installed because Wacom drivers work really well in Windows. And I'm using Adobe Photoshop. I have a monthly subscription to Adobe Cloud. And I'm using Adobe Photoshop to draw. And it works, but it's way overkill. It's like driving the space shuttle to the store to get a gallon of milk. It's really, really overkill for the types of drawing things that I do. But it works, and it's pretty stable. I love this program called Pixelmator for the Mac. It's an OS X program. The problem is it would lock my Mac up all the time, and I would lose my stuff and have to start over. It was a bummer. I really liked Pixelmator, but I just can't use it because it would lock up my computer. So now I'm using a Wacom tablet on Windows using Photoshop, which is almost cliche. But there's more. I really think that someday I might have to make the transition from Photoshop to Adobe Illustrator, not because I'm going to use fancy shapes. I'm still going to draw really terrible squares, but because going to Illustrator makes it like one step from there to Adobe Animator. And I think one day it would be really, really cool to make short little animated clips of My Big Round World. I think it would make for a pretty simple animation, right? I mean, they don't even have arms, right? They just have legs. And so I could maybe someday make animations in My Big Round World, but that's a someday thing. That is not a soon thing. I have no idea how to use Adobe Illustrator, much less Adobe Animator, and Adobe Photoshop is far more than I need. And that's what I'm struggling, but still using on a daily basis right now. So anyway, that was 7 things about My Big Round World that you probably didn't know. Maybe you did. But the thing that you probably do know, because I've been tweeting about it a lot, and I actually showed you earlier, is the Spot plushies that are now available. Now, today is, what is today? Today is December 11th, 2021. I thought that it would be awesome to have merchandise, like you can buy stickers. I have stickers somewhere. So I have stickers of Spot, and I had these made. This was a terrible choice on my part to make plushies, because having plushies custom designed and then made in bulk is prohibitively expensive, but I really wanted a plushie. So I spent way too much, and I got just a small amount of them. I have just over 100 Spot plushies, because that's all I could afford to order. And they're fairly spendy, but they're just so adorable. Look how cute they are. And they're squishy, and they're just really great. So if you want one of these in time for Christmas, if you get it in the next week, it should get to you as long as you're in the US, because I actually have them in my closet. Like I'm pointing right there. You can't see it, but right there, there are a whole bunch of Spots just waiting to get shipped out via USPS. So anyway, that's the thing that you probably know. If you're watching this any other time, like in 3 months or 3 years, hey, I might have some Spot plushies, and you can go to the website and order. I should have said that too. Yeah, it'll be in the description, but it's just snar.co/spot-plushie. That'll take you to the order page if you really want one. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed learning about my big round world, which is the world that exists inside my brain. And it's full of people who are really just squares and one potato-shaped dog. I'll see you next time at the Brain of Sean something. I don't even know what this channel is going to be anymore. We'll see. But whatever it is, I'll see you there.